fucking old. It's just old people. No one needs to see old people. See, these ones quite often will jump off. Yeah. So you have to murder them with this. Oh no, I turned it the wrong way. Who's bipping their horn? Jeez. What's wrong? Oh shit, she knows who did it. Picture of my vagina? She likes it. She liked it. Cool, cool. Also, I just realised I've not got my chat up. Nice. Sounds insane, right? Yeah, I have no idea what the game's going to be about at all. Some Olympic players played there. Fucking A. That's cool. I don't know any. I was going to say which ones, but I don't know any. Peter Gorbady. Did he play? Is that a player? Is that a name? Peter Gorbady. He's a centre. He's been known to play forward at times, but he's much more of a centre. I've forgotten the name I said. Peter Bogafrey? He has many names, you know, he's mysterious. Yeah, if you ever come to London, there will always be hippies here in London. It's like protesters' spot, basically, to like yell at the Richies. But there is always hippies here, for sure. They're everywhere, yeah, I mean... Wait, they're selling... Wait, which ones are the ones selling drugs? I'm running to the wrong bit again, aren't I? Yep. I want to do this behind me. Like clockwork. I wonder if I have to go to the clock and make it work. Oh, we got to talk to the hippies. Ugh. It's actually within the grounds of a hospital too. Oh, that's sick. So if you get too hurt or like rip something that you shouldn't have ripped, they can just dose you up nice and easy before you go home. Manchester getting like that does your head in. I mean, this spot is fine. This bit's Parliament Square, and it's always been. I think it's like red. I don't know if it's like a registered spot, but they're like it's the spot that you're allowed to protest Parliament at, basically. But you go over there, you getting shot. One of the only times you'll ever see police with guns in England is around this building, hardcore around this building. Is this a bloody travesty?
Oi, you looking for
Can't go to town without someone bitching a pin in your face, right?
Wasn't sure you'd come,
Like, tattoo it on your face and I'll see it. Like, and then if I'm like, oh, that's a good face tattoo, good point, then I'll look into it. Otherwise, you know, keep it yourself. Thanks.
You've given the people
your voice doesn't match your face.
You want to make shit right? Then let's do it.
Neither does yours.
Worse now than it's ever
I mean, your faces don't even match the words.
That's why I contacted you. Albion haven't simply shut down the government. They've sullied the Palace of Westminster. The
police with guns all over town here these days. Yeah, that's because it's Manchester. Hey, Nani baby! How you doing today, dude? Toxic, but instrumental keeps changing. Oh shit. You got me not shopping centres? I suppose with like the anti-terror stuff, like it's always a bit more hardcore, but
it would be wonderful to hear the
yeah, you still don't see them. Like, I mean, in London you probably see a few more armed police, but like, if I saw armed police here, I'd be like genuinely shook. In London, it's not a thing to see them, I guess. Enter the clock tower, hey?
Politicians are thieves. Where's our children's future?
In the future?
Good show.
Good show.
Fair wages for hard work.
Do you know what? Shut up.
Stop stealing
I can't make her shut up. Lower. Fair wages for not much work, please, actually. Why would you want to keep the hard work part of it, you dummies? Fly, fly.
There is some security around the bell tower, but that shouldn't pose a problem. A bigger issue will be getting to the top.
Any bright ideas?
A spider bot should do the trick.
Oh, I've got one of those. Now, would it break if I throw it from here? So let's get on this nicely so we don't get hit out of the sky by another fucking drone like last time. It's pretty much at the terror target places. You always see arm cups at shopping centres, train stations, stadiums. Damn, yeah. Yeah, I suppose stadiums probably would get it a lot now. It's just been so long since I've been to one. Nerd! Do I have to get in there before I throw my spider bot, or is... or what, you know? When you was a kid, you never used to see them on. When you were a kid, you never saw any. You used to see them on horses walking down the street, waving at the kids. Yeah, I remember when they used to go have police horses down the street here as well. Actually, you once saw a house across from me get raided with a bunch of policemen with assault rifles. Oh, really? Do you know what the story was? Like, did they kidnap the Pope or something? That'd be crazy. I've never kidnapped the Pope myself, but I bet it's crazy. But that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, that must have been a bit weird though. At your home, just seeing like fucking goddamn 5-0 just raiding shit.
Find whoever's hacking this vehicle. Drone, initiate search.
Motherfucker.
Someone's hacked this thing. Find them.
Oh, don't look. Don't look. Don't. Thank you, guy. Come here, come here, come here, come here, come here, come.
They're gone. Let's head back and regroup.
After the the Manchester Arena bombing, the army raided the block of flats you just moved out of. Really? They were that slow at catching you? That's crazy. I know yours was purely for sex stuff. Good sex, you know. He's too good. That's what I've heard. Yeah. Oh, they'll never get me on if. That's it. You got to capture right. For instance, they'll never get me on if they do. I just bargain my freedom by giving them you, the most wanted man in Europe. And those remixes have cause to steer. Cause to steer. There you go. Doing more Midlands for you lot. I mean, it wasn't anything that big. Someone who lived there had a gun apparently, which they used to threaten someone turned out to be just a BB gun. I did know somebody who got raided in the town I was living in as well, after I'd moved out of the town, and I hadn't seen that person for years. But they had, like, they had a non-active grenade, like, as a thing. But apparently someone ratted them out, and so, like, they had the whole fucking, like, street, the entire road was cordoned off because the bomb squad had to come in and shit. Hey Rosie, how you doing today? Lovely to have you. I don't know why I'm spidering. I think I need to. Oh shit! Don't look at me. I'm a shy spider. A shider. After you for being a member of sex cult run by some nerd called McCoy. Huh? That guy has the same name as me. Good thing I only run a social club. Sexual social club. Because I've seen policeman with a gun though. Never saw anything like it. Yeah, man, it's jarring as fuck. I've never seen one outside of, like, proper London. Which you kind of just expect it a bit more, I guess. Whereas, like, yeah, like, your hometown outside your house, just on your road, that's not what you, you're not really going to expect that to be happening much. I think I'm just wasting time here. I might as well just go back and fly this out. Oh, dear. I forgot I need to activate this. And I am doing splendid, cheers. I'm having a lot of fun on Legion today so far. Reminiscing about landing and shit. Somebody that you knew when you was a teenager pointed a replica at a copper one night when you saw him and a bunch of people having a sesh. He wasn't there. Armed coppers burst in, arrested him and knocked a bowl of weed all over the place. How dumb are they though to do that? That's
Sounds like a right laugh.
pointing a fake gun at a policeman. Like, Jesus Christ. Alright. Let's scuttle. Oh. Lovely. Scuttle, scuttle, scuttle. Oh my god, okay. Good thing I'm a spider, right? Whee! I can't see this going bad at all, you know. I think I'll be able to do this sort of platforming with a little robot spider so easily. It won't even be a thing. You know, easier than eating chicken wings, which I guess can be difficult because it can get your hands messy. But oh, what the fuck is this shit about? And why are these ropes here? Is that for like Lara Croft to be swinging on? Is she gonna help me in this game, or is... Oh, I gotta go on one of these, I guess. Is there one here? I don't want to just jump off. Okay. Go here. Is this right? Am I doing this correct? Oh no, I've got to go into there, right. Yeah, they were all mad at him because it wasn't his place. He was just there. He brought the police to the door, knocking man's weed on the floor and shit. Damn, he did 3 years for it. That's how fucking dumb it. Plus his mates also probably done him in hard when they got their hands on him for the, wasting the gear. Right, it's gonna go perfect, don't worry about it. That's what I wanted to happen, actually. Definitely. Dude can jump super high. Yeah, man. One of those times where it's like, thank God I wasn't there on that note, right? Whoa. This level needs more Mario music. Also, I just realised, Ubisoft game, tower climbing. You can't have a Ubisoft game where you don't climb a tower. And we ain't gonna climb your tower. Oh, shit. Oh, I missed a couple of bits. Let me see. Something what you remember quite well is an elder woman was coming down the road and a policeman told him to stop a few times and he must have not heard the police men and said something along the lines, oh, you fucking deaf, stop. I mean, we've had a lot, like, I've seen the police a lot in my time, like, just because of the areas that we've been, not necessarily because of me, but, smoke at t-shirt. Oh man, yeah. See, I've had those times where shit's gone down at like a friend's house or something where it's like, man, I was gonna be there. I just had to do something else that night or some shit. Usually it would have been like, I'd have been there. I'm just like, thank fuck. Oh shit. It's the Germans. Or zombies, Silent Hill zombies. Probably Silent Hill zombies. No. Oh. Whoa. Whoa, no. That was, did I jump down? Oh no, I gotta jump on. Jesus Christ, man. Is this how hard it is to get up to Big Ben? Like, is there not stairs? If you have to go up and repair Big Ben, do you have to jump on this shit? What if one of these is the things that's broken and then you can't get up to it? Jesus Christ, London, sort your clock out. It's ridiculous. This is silly. It was hilarious. He was a weird guy anyway, a homeless guy who used to have epileptic fits all the time. Still don't know why he pulled the replica. I wish only Ash is still... oh wait, what did I miss about Ash? Hang about. Oh, good thing Ash has put it all behind him. Oh yeah, right, okay, yeah. As well, still always bringing police to the door, usually for trolling football players on Twitter. Yeah. Which football players has he been trolling on Twitter? Phil, Gary Neville even. He seems like he probably gets trolled on Twitter quite a bit. Whoa. Can you doubt he does? No, I think he must. 100%. I reckon 100%. Mojo let the truth slip, and now he can't take it back. Next time we see Ash, we'll know. Where am I meant to go? Oh, maybe through here? Can I? No? I forgot. Put on too much spider weight. Oh, up here. This makes sense. If he did get arrested, I'd probably be for that shit. As opposed to drawing down on cops. Yeah, right. I mean, if you did that nowadays, you'd just... If that cop had a gun, you'd just be straight shot. There'd be no two ways about it. I know all of their data.
That should do it.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. When people could carry guns around, kind of. Oh shit, Westminster's ours, baby! Oh, and we set fireworks off. That's nice. So, yeah, that's it. Yeah, fully. Shotgun going booyah. You. Well, core challenge completed.
That was moving, truly. To hear the chimes again, to see that tower the way it's meant
So they had
to be
suppressed the
seen,
chimes. That's
means
nuts.
everything to the people of this borough.
Bruh, I get it.
Bruh.
Something like the clock
Bruh.
brings people together. You direct that shit at Albion and big things gonna happen.
It represents our parliamentary democracy. To have Albion to face it the way they did, it's clear what they were up to. Thank you, DedSec.
You're welcome. Are you going to join us now or what? Do I have to kill you? Because you know my eyes.
Brilliantly done. Westminster will surely rise up against Albion after this.
Yeah, thanks.
Picture of my vagina for her.
No,
Oh, she didn't like it. I thought she would like it. I thought she'd be like, oh, cheers, thanks for doing it for me. Like, I really appreciate your vagina. You know, as I'd like a well done for the job. I remember hearing that some guy I was loosely acquainted with shoved someone, showed someone a BB gun in town and saw it on CBT. Loads of police showed up and did a whole step-by-step instruction at gunpoint thing, which had seen it car was a knob. Yeah, quite often the people that you knew who got caught and shit like that were people who it would be fun to see them getting caught like that. Who's this chick? Oh, was she a spy or some shit? She got a watch. What's this watch do? What did I do? What did that achieve? I don't know what she just did. Power punch. But she can swap between those. That's pretty sick. Oh, she's a spy. She is a spy. Well, she has a spy car at least. Spots jam weapons of all nearby enemies. Silence weapon. Alright. Okay. Spy car cloak. Temporarily cloaks the spy car. Wow. Okay. Okay, she seems like she's going to be pretty legit. What do you do for a living? Stuff. Digital piracy advocate. Huh. Have a nice day at work. Your car is travelling too slow. Westminster law. Westminster law. Oh, I'm guessing it was her car. Because it like turned. So, let me just... Oh, I can't distract her yet. And just get rid of this car. Be free. So, I feel like it's a sort of game that it might behoove me to clear the burrs first. Burr, here. Neutralize VIP. Alright. Let's go kill this bitch. Hoxton. Yeah, let's go Hoxton, baby. Let's go bar and grill. Watch some music. Eat some steak. It was funny because weeks before you've brought some BB guns with you to town and sold a few, so it could have happened to you. Didn't even think of it at the time. Yeah, I suppose that's it. Was it like a random sale kind of thing, or was it was it like not random, but like did you like meet them in town to sell kind of thing rather than like at your home kind of? But I mean, sometimes you just don't think about something like, oh shit, yeah, that could have gone kind of bad, hey. So this lady's a spy. She doesn't let me see. Can I change her things? Yeah, cool. Spider-Bot, baby. Hey, Moo! How are you doing today? Lovely to see you. Oh shit, and Stream Rages is ready. Alright, let's do Stream Rages quick, because we're here. I'm also going to save the game. There we go. And Tactical Granny, yeah. This one doesn't actually sound too bad. We haven't heard her talk too much, I guess, actually. No, she's not a granny. We have someone who does sound extremely like a granny, but doesn't really look too much like one. She sort of like looks more like she's in her 40s, which, I mean, you could be a granny. Maybe you've got around a bit, you know, but... brought them to town hoping to meet someone who'd buy them, and some dodgy Irish chaps put them... Oh, really? That's amazing. You just wanted more weed money. Fair. Get some tentacle grannies. Oh, wow. We finished that one so quick. And Leon, get some. Okay. 5-star boss battle. All Troops a go, guys. Best ones you got. Let's fuck some shit up. Oh, I can put healer down again now. Cool. So I'm actually going to put my healer down here so he doesn't just get shot up. But place your people wherever you want to, as long as we win. As long as we win. Yes. Okay, cool. So she's got Spider Bot. She can do whatever a Spider Bot can do, which is the plan. Wagwan. Boop. Alright. Maybe more of those, hey. Don't disappear into the. Oh, it's on the roof. Don't be doing that. Oh, come on. I don't have the drone thing anymore. Oh. Did I say something about robot? I'm not a robot. Oh, I was hoping we could get there. I actually thought that was a ramp. Pause. So I need to unlock that before I can unlock that. Damn. Maybe I'm just allowed in here. I haven't actually checked. I'm not allowed to take him down. Bullshit. Oh yeah, I'm actually super far away from it still. What am I... I don't think this is even a place I need to be at. Let's go, little buddy. Yeah, I'm being an idiot. I'm nowhere near where I needed to be. If I had a tactical granny, this would have never happened.
Your safety and security are of utmost importance to Albion.
That's the first time I walked through one of those. Stafford Auto Garage. Okay, so it's in here we need to be at.
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, right. It's crazy.
Is this supposed to be funny?
Why are you so mad?
Attention. Albion personnel have
Always on probation.
to discharge their weapons into the offender's threat.
Steady yourself. Steady.
Be free, little one. Okay, let's just go in, I suppose. We got a silenced pistol. Easy. All day, let's do this. Can we make this go up? Ah, I need the key. There's always a key.
Stop! You hear that? I will shoot you. Oh, there. Did you hear that?
Hear me now! Okay. I'm not gonna boast about how many followers I've got on Twitch, but it's more than Jesus got. It fucking is. Fucking is. Do I have to download it off you? Can't I just take it? Killed by operative. Yeah, I was gonna save him to recruits, but it's probably not gonna be worth it. Yeah, Dad. Galang manimadan. Hey, is that a person? Oh, can I have your PC? Oh no, it's just to climb. That's a pretty good climbing PC. I could have raised or lowered that. Motherfucker. Hey!
This is a highly placed Albion informant, or as they're called in America, a narc. And if there's one thing I know about the people of London, it's that they always like to see a rat get his comeuppance. Good on you.
Wonderful, thank you.
Nope. I changed my mind. This woman sounds fucking awful. She sounds like a granny. God damn, she sounds like an awful granny.
Oh God!
I'm ready to immobilize the target.
Near your location.
Can't chase me if I steal your car. See you, nerd. All the dumb shit. Is this some pendulum I'm hearing right now?
Negative. No vision of the suspect.
Don't ever find me if I'm not on the roads.
Search has yielded no results. Report back to HQ.
Okay, nice and safe. So next one is a sabotage. Oh, let's see what her car handles like, I guess. That's it. Oh, there it is. Cool. That's a nice car. Good stuff. Oh.
Suspect or suspects?
It's pretty cool. It's pretty neat.
Moving to intercept.
Oh shit.
No sign of the target. Over.
That's pretty cool, man. Invisible car shit.
Control, we're returning to HQ. Over.
Oh shit, why did I do that? Yeah, that's good. Now do it again. Woohoo! Okay, I'm gonna park here.
Want to take me for a ride?
Oh, yeah.
Get fucked!
You sound like a mean bitch. Have a picture of my vagina. Okay, now if I was a spy, I reckon I could live this. Yeah, see? Easy. She sounds like the fucking old lady from Evil Dead.
I've been telling you now that I'm gonna leave this city. How long will this stay?
Then leave, no one likes you. Jeez, what about you? Make tea, not war. Good shout. Oh, I gotta go up.
Dead bodies float, don't they? Well, the point remains.
Just gotta hack their surveillance shit. Hmm. Can this activate that shit? Don't think I need to. This thing I want's lower than here. Oh, this thing's weird too. I gotcha! I gotcha!
Do your part. Report suspicious activity. Together,
It says it is over there.
safety is everyone's responsibility.
Okay, so I do need to get my thing in here. So do I need to go to this door, I'm guessing? Okay, so I think I need to get to the other side of the building. But maybe I can just fly there. Okay. Okay, we got it. Definitely possessed, right? Yeah, crazy possessed voice. Hello, my sweetie. That thing's bogging, man. Sea nerds. These people can't even fly. You'd rather have to go to war than drink that bullshit? Wow, Mojo. I hope that's an option one day, and then you have to really seriously consider that statement. No, again, you make a drink, call it Fizzle. You have to choose one ingredient that goes in, and you decide the rest. Oh, okay. My one ingredient is milkshake. Yeah. Okay, what flavour milkshake? All flavour. It's like the All Father, but all flavour, you know. You're not a boat. But I mean, I to be fair, I'm quite partial to like a chocolate milkshake, but like Oreo type milkshakes, they're like the best ones. Maybe something along those lines. That would be cool. Feel free to work with it what you want as well. You know, if you got like some can of oil, if you can get that in, that'd be nice. Hey, that's my drone. Hey, drone, how you doing? Do not fear, homeless people. Old Granny Spy is here. So we're going to go with Oreo Milk Shot, Malibu, Triple Sec, and let's go for... Well, I'm not actually a fan of Malibu. I don't like coconut, and I once threw up a lot after drinking Malibu, so it's one of those ones that I just never, can never drink in. So go for it if you want. If it makes your drink better, go for it. But I probably wouldn't end up drinking it if that was the case, yeah. You'd fuck me instead of having the Malibu, like for my version of the drink? I suppose that's not as bad, yeah. At least it's something extra. It's nice that you put a thought in, for sure.
Locked. Whatever this console is hiding, it'll stay hidden until you find the password.
Me?
Get some low-level package data from those nearby computers, and I can piece it together.
Wow, man, just... I've got to do everything right. Got him.
That's a start, but I'll need more. Search the other computers.
Oh, did I get it? Okay, cool. I don't really know. I'm looking now.
That's almost done it. Just a little bit more now. Keep looking.
Okay. I want to go for that one. Do I have to do that first? Okay, there we go, yeah. Give me that data, baby! Is that enough?
Got the password. Now, get back to the console and let's see what it's hiding.
Okay, let's get it. No one was dancing in that club. It didn't look too fun. Need some Kahlua? Go for it. See, I don't drink alcohol either, but I'll try the drink for sure. But I'll definitely try it. What flavor? What is Kahlua? Is it even a flavor, or is it just like a type of
for a number of popular online influencers, all staunchly anti-Albion.
My, that does sound worrying.
They're all set to be rehabilitated, which definitely means they're about to have jumper cables strapped to their perineum. Best get them.
Cool, done that shit. City of London will be mine. It's a coffee liquor. Oh, I also don't like coffee, so maybe not Kahlua. Damn, you guys are terrible at making drinks. Maybe make it tea. A milk tea shake? Actually, don't do that. That sounds fucking awful, actually. What's that like? Orange liquor. That's good. Alcoholic coffee milkshake sounds great to you. Yeah, I mean, I know that is a thing that people have. I mean, like an alcoholic tea milkshake. I don't think that would have the same effect. I'm sure you could, like Long Island iced tea. I guess it's like cold alcoholic tea. So I mean, I guess it's like a Long Island iced tea mixed as like a White Russian in a sense. Oh shit, we're actually going to not London Dungeons. The where they kept shit. By Tower Bridge. I can't remember what it's called. The name of this place has completely evaded me. And I don't know how. No, I mean, just London Bridge. These were like dungeon type shit. This is where they keep the crown jewels, isn't it? Tower of London. It is Tower of London. Okay, cool. It is Tower of London. Yeah, the crown jewels be up in this shit somewhere. How about Grand Marnier? That's an orange liqueur. Okay, that sounds okay, yeah. Grand Marnier is more for cooking flavour than drinking. Oh, okay. Never seen an orange flavoured milkshake, though. That's a very good point. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know if I've ever seen an orange milkshake. It'd be quite sharp. It'd be a bit weird, I guess. Orange smoothie, sure, but then you can have a mango smoothie and a mango milkshake. I'll have one of those. I was thinking coffee, liqueur, and vodka would make it into a milkshake version of White Russian. Yeah, yeah. Look at that little buddy. Right, so what am I actually doing here? What's this note about? Oh, so... Well, what have I got to do here? Let me actually just double check here. Oh, murder him. Didn't like my dick pic. Up and away! Tower of London shouldn't be this easy to break into, right?
Seems that manky little nerd was the one who kept
manky little nerd.
Away from the borough to keep
Spiced rum milkshake. Yeah, that'd be quite nice. That'd work quite well. Yeah, because it didn't. Yeah, you're right. It'd be like vanilla-esque, like a vanilla milkshake. I think that'd work really well, actually. Yeah, spiced rum milkshake could be good. I think once you mixed vodka, Hennessy, pineapple juice, triple sec, and Jack, and there were a few more ingredients, but we call it the buh. Sounds good, bruh. The buh for you, bruh. A manky little nerd. I haven't heard the word manky for so fucking long, and the fact that they even know what nerd is speaks volumes. Alright, I gotta take pictures of some people hopefully having sexual intercourse, or playing Uno, which is just as sexy. Roman wall? Was that it? Was that a Roman wall? That's a shit wall. Looks more like a compass. Oh cool, I'm glad they put a screen up here because I was worried that when I was flying around in my drones I might miss the fucking news. Up here. Why is this here? I mean, is it here for the office building? Why not just put a TV in the office building? What does this... Who does this screen serve? Like... You're not going to see it. Over there, you're not going to really look up this high. You're driving, you know. You're not going to be able to read anything. Barely read it from here. It's just another showing of the government wasting our money. Jeez. Are they underground of sorts? Hey, kill baby! Hey, Tintin! That's it, it's the London version of Cyberpunk. Cyber Slag! You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I've got to be lower than Atlantis? Kill. I demand it. He fouled me. Is this a door I can use? No. That's me. Oh. Huh. Could. Stop. Oh shit. Up, up and away! This might blow up on me. Uh-oh. 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 Well, if we're dying. Wow, that actually doesn't do bad. Her voice, I keep forgetting how nasty it is.
We need some help here.
Oh, Albion, why would you snitch on me? I wasn't even going for them, I just want to get underground. I guess we might as well go for it now.
Check the surroundings. Drone, initiate search protocol.
I'm definitely not meant to be here yet. This will be a mission, I'm sure, but I need to find the way underground. It's not hard to find me. I'm sprinting around like a fucking lunatic. I just need to find the stairs, and I'll leave all you lovely people alone, okay? Brownie's honour.
I think they're pissed off. Thank God.
I haven't pissed off. I'm just extremely lost. Alright, calm down. Otherwise this happens. Get him. KFC just arrived here, so you went to grab some? Oh. So, wait, oh, okay, so you grabbed it. Wait 2 hours, and you didn't even have your bites. Oh, you buddy. I don't know what bites are, but I'm assuming it's just like another tasty part of it. That's bullshit. Oh shit. Sorry, that was my bad. I just didn't even check my 6. I need to. I don't know where to go. I need to get down. I bet. Small sears of chickeny goodness. Oh damn, dude. It should be a criminal offence to forget people's food orders. You know, parts of their food orders. It's not right. It's not right, man. Let's put the gun away in public. Hijack a news. Oh fuck me. Okay, hijack a news drone and photograph evidence. Okay. I need a news drone. Bun that, bruv. Where are these news drones? Oh, you news drone? No, you're a cargo. Wait, you're also cargo. You're too far away to see. No news over here, apparently. What about you? What are you, a news drone? You're a chase drone. Eat shit. Okay, I've got to find a news drone. I'll be back. Idiot. Delivery drone. Yeah, that's a delivery drone too. That's a CTOS one? I don't think that's the news one, is it? I don't think so.
Unlicensed or third-party firmware. Installing unauthorized software on your optic device is prohibited.
Can I take a picture on this one? Okay, I don't think I can take pictures of this one. I don't think this is a news drone. How do I get a news drone? Do I have to just like smash it up? I launched it into me, my bad. Sorry, me. Oh god. Where do I get a news drone from? Do any of my people... Maybe I should check my team. Maybe one of them has a news drone? Idiot. Oh, they didn't forget they ran out, but you got more strips instead. Okay, okay. Yeah, it's not too bad then if they actually compensate for certain shit. Oh, he can do a news drone. Okay. Oh, this guy's one of the worst sounding ones. Be prepared for it. He sounds fucking awful. Honestly, all these characters just sound so bad. They're not matched to like the person until... Was the top left operative Elton?
Feeling ready to fight?
That was our first one, actually. She was our first recruit, but she's a bit shit. So I don't know. I don't know if I want to do stats. Okay, so it want me to take... I'm assuming it doesn't want me to take a picture here. Oh, out of range. That's not good. Huh. What am I going to be taking a picture of? I mean, what does it want me to take a picture of, though? I mean, they're not doing anything too shady. I've taken pictures of people with guns. I mean, it seems like I'm meant to be doing it over here, but below this ground. I don't know how to get below the ground there. Oh, maybe over here? Didn't seem to land over this way. Yeah, so I don't really know where I'm meant to be doing this. Climb through the vents? Did you saw a hole? Let me have a circle backgrounds. Get down. In the front? Mystical cargo drone. You saw fence here? Oh shit, fence here, did you say? More front. Ah, yeah, there's a smash. Good spot. Good spot. Let's actually come out of camera mode. Oh god. Nice spot kill. Oh god. Oh. Okay. Oh, that I think that just... Yeah, it looks like the flash, but I can't then take the picture. Oh, I'm not in camera mode. God damn it. I'll do a nice little flash before I did it. Lovely jubbly. I could have probably just... I was looking to try... Oh no, I didn't even try and actually look to hack. Alright, cool. Well, that's...
What have you got, Bagley?
Schematics for an advanced drone system. Albion call it GOG OS. Catchy. I'll study these and see if they haven't forgotten something. Some exploitable weakness. Never know when it might come in handy.
Not a bad idea, Bagley.
You fucking slag. Oh, that was close. Oh, Stream Raiders is ready, guys, so we'll give that a quick look at. Just park that there. Go join him. He couldn't even get past a bus. What a city. And Delamain over Bagley, right? But I think most people could play Bagley on this, but most people couldn't get all of the Delamain ones to run, could they? Because it was made like an atrocious piece of shit. Okay. I still need to do the alternative endings for it. I haven't even done those yet for Cyberpunk. I'm hoping by the time they roll around the DLC, there'll be a lot of improvements to that game anyway, so it'll make it worth playing a bit more. It needs a lot though. Damn, we've just caned these ones today. GG, guys. And that one goes to Almighty. Boss defeated. Yeah, boss didn't know what fucking hit it. So we will go on the low road to try and get green. So we'll start here. Yes, that's it. Cyberpunk is dead in the water. I wouldn't even be surprised if we didn't even get DLC now. They just dump it. But okay, guys, let's get going. Protect these portals and whatnot. Can't place over another unit. It's my goddamn battle! Motherfucker. Oh, I didn't put a healer down. I don't know if I had a healer ready, actually. Anyway, get into the troop. Exclamation mark Stream Raiders if you haven't, if you're not already got Stream Raiders, and see how to get it for free and play for free. Yeah. Okay. So next we got a sabotage. Oh, we get a beekeeper. I can dig it. Alright. Let's go get us a beekeeper. Let's go Shoreditch High Street. Go see the hipsters. Look at this bloody hipster.
Help me!
Oh, that is so sweet.
Ah, yeah, she liked my dick pic. Ticket agent. Oh, nice. Groundskeeper. Referee. Well, you're lucky I can't fuck you up right now. Get away. What'd you do? Stuff, okay.
What was that about?
Get away, nerds. Actually, I probably should be someone different. Because this guy I only got because he is good at that one thing. Which is not this, apparently. Why is someone getting their gun? What happened? What happened?
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm just a noble prince running down the street. Don't worry about me. This isn't a shortcut. I think I actually need to go back that way. That seems to be the main way to actually get in. But yeah, I might change people quick, because this guy's voice is super annoying. And there is Gil. We'll see you in just a sec, my man. Yeah, let's go with her, because... oh, she's unavailable at this time. Oh, okay, shit. Oh, they all are. Oh, because I'm in a chase right now. Yeah, I've got to wait for that to end. Now I might be able to. Do I have 40 points to upgrade, actually. AR Shroud does seem like it could be quite OP. What else we got down here? So, Chish drone hacks. Turrets can be disabled for a short period of time. That could be a good one. Counter-terrorism drones can be disabled for a short period of time. Gun jam, parcel force. And riot drones can be disabled for a short period of time. Those could be some good ones. Dead set grenade launcher. Huh. SMG. I'm gonna go... Let's see, there's a few things here that we can take in. I'm gonna unlock... The shot is not very far reaching. Oh, fuck it. Let's go for the shotty. And, oh, fuck it. We can afford that too. Why not? Gives us options. Okay, so we might go back to our spy because she's got the silence weapon. Oh shit! And then we'll give her a second weapon as a shotty. She want to buy it? I've already got it. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Oh bollocks! I didn't move to her again. There we go.
Are you ready for a new operation?
Please, still some scum out there that need a good hard slap.
Her voice. Her goddamn voice. Wrong thing. Oh, and the waffle heist are on, guys. Exclamation mark jam to see how many, no, not exclamation mark jam. Exclamation mark FB, see how many fizz bucks you have. And then exclamation mark WH, followed by the amount when you want to risk. Up to 15 hold 1,000. Boop. Oh no, I wanted to turn it off. Boop, can't turn that one off. I just show myself to it every time. Jog on. Yeah, you carry on, you little bitch. Scared of eye and shit. Get fucked.
What was that?
Oh, this is too far down. Nah, nothing. You saw nah, nothing. You didn't. Why would there be a spider? What do you think this is? A house? Oh. How you seeing me? How you seeing me? How you seeing me through the table?
Search the area.
No shenanigans.
Where's my bitches?
Where's my bitches?
Where's my bitch? Where's my bitch?
You say it together. It goes in together.
Where my bitch? Where my bitch? Okay, check this out. Where my bitch? Where my bitch? Let me just say if
Stop. In the name of love. So what do I have to do with this? Just interact with it, or? Get him!
Find the suspect.
Drone in my area.
Drone, begin a search.
This guy's kind of can catch a drone.
Spread out. We need to find them. Drone, engage search and alert protocol.
Oh shit, I keep pressing the wrong button on it. Ah! Okay, well the spider bot's ready. Back with fresh water. Nice, nice. Did you squeeze it out of a stone? That's always the best water. Oh, your fresh water randomly disappeared. What a coincidence. What do I actually need to do to this goddamn thing? Just... Does it tell me? Just sabotage? Just sabotage. Oh, for your bong. Ah, okay, fair. Hey, freshly rock squeezed water is still good for your bong. And your ears. Fuck you, I'm a spider. Don't know how that works, but...
For fuck's sake, they got away.
I'm gonna let them know, I'm gonna get caught so they know it was me.
That was Albion's automated propaganda hub you've thrown a spanner into.
Oi oi! Here's me, Spider-Mate! 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 That's its original theme tune. Sounds like nothing else. My spider is happy to murder.
The borough is
Come on.
I dare say the
Don't take me out. What's wrong with y'all? I'm gonna go get. There we go.
Needs one more push, and this may be it. Someone's made contact. Probably inspired by what we've done. Says he has information we'll be interested in. You should meet up.
That was an ambulance there.
Now.
Just killed that ambulance. Just killed that ambulance. Oh, the shit's on fire now. Cool. Okay, let's wait for the explosion, and then we'll carry on. Nice. What are they doing? Okay, anyway. You need fresh water in your bong? Well, let's make... I don't actually have a bong myself, so I'm not going to do it. But let's make today National Fresh Bong Water Day. Anybody in chat who's got themselves a bong, or even like their flower... They have a flower in a pot that needs watering. Today's National Water Day. Don't put your bong water in the flower pot though. That segue may have been a bit weird. Right, let's just keep it Bong Day. We'll do fresh water for flowers a different day. Yeah. Or just get yourself a fresh Bong Day, yeah. Just Bong Day, maybe. It rolls off the tongue a bit better, that, don't it? Can I punch a window? No, I can't punch unless there's a human being near me. That's a shame. It's left. Get him. Wait. That's how you say hello. Oh my god, this looks ridiculously like my mate's old flat. Actually, we need a famous person, don't we? He's a performer. Noticed in public. That could be cool for us. He murdered. Oh, he's got a bag. He's a social media influencer. Okay. And she's a songwriter. Oh shit, maybe I should have got her. Hey, Meow! How you doing today, buddy? We have an event called the Great Bong Night over here. Oh, really? That sounds delightful. Collect evidence of Albin's dodgy projects to shake people's faith in them. Alright. Bong cards are great, right? Yeah. Roshan lets us take over a Yarkin Park in Tel Aviv and just smoke. That does sound like a rather nice time. Oh. Oh, you want to fucking go? Let's fucking fight then. I'm a secret agent, you bitch. Look at that kick. You like trying to fucking start with me? Oh, bitch. Come on, eye. Do you know what? Fuck this wall. Oh, I can't. Oh, I thought I could punch it. Some walls you can punch, but this one apparently not. That didn't work. Does she have a camera? I mean, she's a spy. She should have a goddamn camera. There should be a way in here, right? Yeah. Can't get in there. Jesus. Oh, I have a good idea actually. I think that worked, right? Yeah, I know there's some walls there's some like boards and stuff you can shoot. Yeah.
You're alright.
Is he talking to me? Of course I'm alright. I'm a spy. Can I go through there? Oh, shit. Oh, what's that box? There we go. There we go. Just had to lob it. Oh shit.
What on earth is this, Bagley?
A data stick must have come from that wreckage. It has evidence that Albion are targeting grassroots groups in the borough, trying to keep them from organising.
Did I get dough from that?
This could come in
Right.
handy.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. The spider dude just went like hardcore. Whee. Hello, master. I've come back. Did I get you?
This is all units. Possible suspects, all suspects reported me.
That wasn't me. It was a demon.
Location. Moving to the hostile's location. Over.
I think that's the first human I've purposely killed. Like, you know. Oh shit, please. What are they here for? Can I not jump this little fence? Nope. Nope. It's right, they don't know what I look like.
Yep.
No, they don't.
Huh?
I mean, running around in a mask seems pretty suspect to me.
All units disengage. Suspect has disappeared.
All I did was murder, so... It's not like I did anything too bad. Is this where I need to be? Kind of. Alright.
Lock down this vehicle before it hurts someone. Right, I'm putting a stop to this. We have an intruder!
Spread out and find them.
Oh, we're fucking Bethnal Green now. Didn't realise that. Oi, oi.
Initiate lock. Oh!
Got him.
Suspect made off that way. Have a look. On it.
Did you find him? Oh, hello.
There's only one way to say.
Oh, that was pretty nice.
Getting behind cover.
I'd rather not have to kill you today.
Cool. I rather would kill you today. Oh man. I like it when I like get really good like this at spy games. I'm really excellent at this spy game now.
To me, not now.
Oh shit! Chum baby! Coming in with the 7-month for subs now. Goddamn boy! And thank you very much there, Chum man. How are you doing today? And thank you again. That was very nice of you. And yeah, I'm definitely going to play more Metal Gear Solid. I definitely plan to do more. I've just got distracted by this. But yeah, I do very much plan to do more. Hey, and Lord of Sidious, thank you very much for the follow there, dude. Welcome. But yeah, I might play a bit of it interjected with this, but at the moment I'm thoroughly enjoying it, so I kind of want to like keep it rolling, you know. And we'll just download their stuffs for a minute. Pretty sure most people are dead now anyway, so we're good. Very spy, very much stealth. Wow, alright. No one saw me, man. Not a single person has been able to report me. And I'm doing splendid. Cheers, chum. I'm having a good amount of fun with this game so far. Like, I kind of felt like, even though like Metal Gear seems like it could be a fun game, it also seems like one of those games you have to get quite into, and I kind of wanted more like a game like this, like still quite an in-depth one, but still just fun at times, you know, just silly as shit. Yeah, so Latch is back, although I've turned it off because it doesn't, it's a bit slower still. But whenever I turn one of them off, the other one still stays on anyway, so we're getting double alerts for everything at the moment.
Giving the whopping police station problems, telling people how to drive their butt.
EZ. Oh, it's super easy to be a spy. Oop, and get lost. Really want to murder this person now. Oh, there's a door here all the time. Oh, that's cool.
I imagine this poor bugger was supposed to serve as an object lesson of some kind. Albion decides whether or not you have a right to a trial.
Get out of here!
You came around.
You bet your ass.
Oh, you lucky baby. You got touched by an angel, girl. Speed up prefer traffic in London, man. It's just too slow. You as well. Don't be parked on there. Good times. All right. So we'll get the tube to Bethnal Green. I remember I played a gig at Bethnal Green at a pub called The Star. Or it might have been called The Star on Bethnal Green. But I played there with Cage the Elephant. We drove there, so I have no idea how to get there from the station. Now she has a pistol. I just want to murder everybody. That's natural, right? That's a healthy feeling, right? You sound like you're from London.
Auto drive now enabled.
Bit left quicker, my friend. Actually, they're in our way now. Oh no, we're alright. Yeah, auto drive's quite nice on this, so you can actually just like take in the scenes and shit. It's a really nicely made game visually, for sure. They just skipped a few elements.
Auto drive now disabled.
Gonna park here. To be fair, driving's quite like ice skating. If you find a good enough wall, you can just use that to brake instead. Saves your brake pads as well, actually. If you crash into walls to stop, your brake pads actually last a lot longer. They go a lot further. I need to go further up. Oh my god. Oh, hello. Facts. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Oh yeah, and Kyle got last month's clip champ. It's not Gary's mod, as you can see. But who will get this month's? There's been some good clips, guys. Is anyone feeling confident? Shotgun gun, booyah! Why are people shooting me? Oh, come on. Wow. Don't engage me. I'm a single lady. Stop it. Wait, hold up. Does this work? Oh yeah, I have a fucking shotty. I forgot about that. I forgot I had a shotgun. That would have been better to shoot close range targets with. Also, movies have led me to believe.
You've been activated.
Bagley? It's rude to
Bagley!
I suppose this must be important then.
Get him. I didn't lose chicken at least. Whoa, 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 whoa. Shit, I should have gone in there. Oh, shit. That was silly. I should have gone in there when I had the chance. Oops, shit. Alright. Fuck off, you idiot. Whoa, 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 whoa. What are you doing?
I've got this. All right.
Bitch.
Don't let them escape.
Right, jeez. I just wanted to open the door. Spider bot. Spider bot. That's me. Fuck you, yeah. Oh, fuck me. Nah, fam. Fuck you. Now back that shit up. Come on, come here. Hey, hey! He's fucking shook. Yeah, you run. You run, yeah, waste man, bruv. Waste man ting, you know what I'm saying? He was terrified. I really wanted to explode them though. That was a touch of disappointment, I'm not gonna lie. Let's see if I can get it on this shot. I don't think I'll get it. Oh no, I didn't. I wasn't there to turn in time. Oh, that was close though. Maybe they just don't explode, but they're red barrels. They're red barrels. It's their job to explode. Yeah. Nope. Nope. I'm actually completely chill. I wouldn't worry about me. I can't do anything to you. Haha. I can run the prick. $17. I also don't explode a bollocks, right? Yeah, they are legally obliged to explode. 100%. Yeah, 100%. Why is this dude like? I mean, come on now. I know I'm doing potential illegal things with this spider bot that can't climb up walls or ladders. Motherfucker, I got going on foot. See ya. Bring it. Let's see if red barrels explode or not. That nerd can't even see me. I think it is cement. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's just filled with cement. Well, that's a terrible texture for the cement. Okay, well, I'm just going to leave that there. Okay. Time for us to spy. Time to do our stealthy spying, guys. Got my spy stick ready, as you can see. I'm aiming with my spy stick. No doubt. Gravel, yeah, some sort of waste, man. Another one. Oh shit, her chest is bad, man. Leave it out. Fucking little one on me now. Those things, man. You don't need to climb, just fall. You're a spy. You can't die. Okay. Well, I've used my my tactical spy abilities to stealthily take down the drones. So now it's just a matter of running through and just, you know, tidying up as we go. Some dead ass cough, right? Yeah, she was fucking coughing chunks up, man. I am the one and only. It's gonna take ages to get down.
Wonderful. You know what they say about sabotage? It's never not a good thing. This is
Right.
sure to cause Albion some headaches.
Right. Fight or flight plan. Okay. Whoa! Oh.
We've done what we can to stop Albion's influence.
I landed on this man. I landed on him. That's amazing.
From a grassroots activist in the borough who wants to meet.
Oh, shit.
Says we inspired her to do her part, but now she could use some help.
Let's have a chat with her.
I mean, this woman's voice is fucking horrifying, but she's pretty handy. Are you shitting me? God damn it! Got to run all the way here. Oh, stream rate battle's ready. All right, let me get out of this area, and we'll do it. Okay, we should be safe. Let me just quickly try this. You do it as well. Just double check. Yeah, we're good. We're safe. We're safe. How you doing? You got a nice color palette about you, you know. All purple and blue. Check your phone. I sent you a vagina pic. Get out my way. Oh, he doesn't like my vagina. That shouldn't even work, right? Look at that car. That shouldn't even be running. Everyone's just getting dumped here today. Okay, let's do the stream raid battle quick. So again, we'll do a nice little save in case the game crashes or anything. Oh, reload. You son of a bitch. Okay, where are we? 17 down. This should be a good one. I'm going to put haste on this one so we can have a nice little jog around, you know. And fight. And no one won the Waffle High. Savage. Get wrecked. As they say in most places. We got this covered. We got this covered. Hopefully don't. Yeah, they're not going to get to that blue one. We're good. We're good. GG. Nicely done, everybody. And Einen and Mighty get it. Beautiful. It does. 9 times out of 10, if Einen and Mighty are playing, they do somehow get it. But they work hard for the money. So hard for the money. Yeah, and he lost Waffle High, so, you know. All's fair in stuff that wins well. Yeah. Paraphrasing Pepe a bit there. Okay. Get your troops down. And, oh, I got a couple of things to quickly collect before they time out and I don't get them. I've done that a few times, like, done an objective and just not collected it before the new objective's meant to be ready. Or at least I think I have. And I think, therefore, I'm held accountable. Yeah, cool. Anyway, so we've already laid that one down. 29 minutes, get your troops down, guys, and we will get back to this in the meantime.
No one here.
Okay, back to Bethnal Green. Someone just said they had shit for brains? Poor fucker. How did they even work? We've already got a construction worker. Oh, longer arrest time. What a jerk. It's a skill investor and what you yeah, fuck it. Excuse me, I need to get there. Oh man, could you imagine the amount of time, you know, like whenever say you're like at the end of a street and you need to cross the road and you see a car coming, so you wait and you stop, but you know the car like just carries on as you stop, and you know if you kept pace you could have done it. That'd be so good for like that. You could just press it and be like, now I don't have to stop walking. You should go too. Go see what's happening. Yeah. Also, that's my new rock album. I hope you like it. Oh, you can't. my fat in here. My fat in here. Way. I mean, she was a gangster, right? She was a scammer. Next of kin has been notified. Oh shit. Well. Don't you dare look down this alley. So this one's underground. So maybe I have to go in there to get to it underground. Let's put the gun away. It's causing me a bit of trouble at the moment. It's hard to not shoot people. Oh shit. Let's collect, yeah. Yep. Yeah. Just wondering if anyone's got a World War II bunker or something. Nah. It's cool though that they get a little bit of garden space, but it seems like there's probably a lot of people who live here. I can't imagine who actually gets designated this. Unless it's just the bottom resident gets it. Which I guess is quite nice, but I'd keep the gate locked. There's murderers. Oh shit, she's got bulletproof head.
I'll shoot you.
I should be able to smash that, right? But
Listen, still surrender, alright?
I surrender. Come get me.
Go that way. Careful, they're close.
Is it though?
Go in for a look. Take your fire.
Come see me. Come see what I do. Come see me. Come in here. Come get a little closer.
Fuck's sake.
Come on, just a little bit closer. I'm here. Come in here, see? You don't need to split up. Fine.
There's no one here, but I'll keep looking.
Someone's down.
They deserve to die, man, because like no one's here. No one's here. I just you might have the game just to simulate back alley hits with silenced pistols. Do you know what? Although this is meant to be like a game that you're meant to do with like stealth and shit, I'm sure. I'm having a lot of fun with this silenced pistol. Like this character is horrible, but you know you get over it. So I need to get down. Is there like a crypt or something I can get into? Am I? Couldn't hit the moon with a baseball bat, mate. Oi oi. Check out my hardware, yeah. I got a fucking GPU, yeah. But I ain't got no PC. How do I get on the ground? Hi, how you doing? Fuck you, bitch slap. Fuck you, bitch slap. Fuck you. Headshot. Oh shit, I think that guy's in cover. Oh my god, how did I not hit him? That cover is magical. Did I hear a fucking Gatling gun or some shit? Oh, it's 5-0.
Engaging hostile target.
Are you talking about me? I'm in the bush, you shouldn't be able to see me! Fuck you, bitch slap. There must be a way to get underground in this one. So I need to get my little dude in there. I've been in this one before, but I don't think it had... Oh shit. I don't think it had like an underground bit. But I definitely need to get to an underground bit around here. Oh, what's this? I've already got this? I must have. Nothing to get downstairs here, though. I've murdered a lot of people around here. I hope they appreciate my work. But I feel like there must be something I'm missing to get underground. Oh, maybe here. Maybe this is what I needed. Or this. I keep forgetting about this shit. Oh, hello. I'm here. Can I not download or whatever? Alright, well. Spiderbot time. Cool. Whoa. Oh shit. Money, money, money. Oh, it's a money spider. I just got it. Nice, nice. On Animal Crossing, set up a gaming basement where you have a Switch, a TV, a gaming chair, and you use as a toilet. So you go and fill it on your idiocracy. Yeah, boy. Go away. Baiting. Yeah, damn good shout. Oh, one big jump here. Whee! Oh, shit. Mate, you son of a bitch. Just fucking thing, man. Is this a shrine to a PC? Oh no, to a cat king. I guess if it was a king.
Best guess? That laptop was stolen from Albion.
Can't leave
Data on
this
it
here.
outlines Albion plans to withhold much-needed supplies from this borough. If people are
Your
worried
mum's a
about where
borough.
their next meal is coming from, they don't worry so much about eating the occasional Albion brand knuckle sandwich.
Shit.
Hey, how you doing? Check your phone.
That's it. All our Albion targets are accounted for in Tower Hamlets. Bloody brilliant job.
Brilliant.
It's had an impact too. This bloke just contacted us about helping him convince the people of this borough to finally rise up. Go meet him.
Oh. Get him. What a nerd. So the only thing in London, you don't really have many cross-system like traffic lights like you had in Watch Dogs 2, because that was also fun, just turning like all of the traffic lights off. The accent's horrible. I'm starting to just ignore them speaking now though, and just smash shut stuff. Oh, that escaped. It's like battle cars, you know. Oh! I like to play chicken as well. No matter what I do, if a car starts heading my way, a car starts heading my way. We roll with it, you know. Nice. Ooh. Okay, this is the last one, and then we'll actually get on with stuff. Oh, they might actually do alright here. I think they did okay. I'd lied. That's gonna be the last one. Okay, let's go next place. So, okay, we got this one. Right, so go Old Street. This is where you go when you become too old to live in London. They just send you to Old Street. True story. Look how old this person is. At least 1,000. I don't know if they liked my vagina pic or not. They said on my days. But that can be good or bad, you know? Not today. I would like someone with a paintball gun, actually. We haven't actually got anyone with a paintball gun. Although I should be able to do a lot more recruiting now. Oh, a dancer. Alright. Yeah, we should be able to do some more recruitment and stuff now. So that's probably something I'll do, like, offline. But I'm going to try and do, like, all of these mission type things, at least, in this as well. This is the one I want and not a main mission, isn't it? Yeah. I think. World of Tomorrow. Okay. There's been a bridge. Fuck. Send Bob's on the vagine. You're gonna die. You're gonna die. Nah, I'm joking. I'm a spider. Oh, I got to meet with them. I got to meet with the dead second floor mate, not murder them. Good thing I read that. I was just about to murder them. Hey, how you doing, you punk? Get him.
You there?
Oh my god.
You've been trying to contact DedSec?
You've
Oh, there you are, dear. It's just lovely what you've done.
It's the
for
same
neighborhood.
person.
Those Albion thugs were becoming a bloody nuisance. Of course, now
Every woman over like what
they're looking to
30
strike
on this
back
game has the
against
old lady
borough.
voice.
What do you mean? A group of us have taken the initiative to help the community. And given
I can't
the
believe we've got to the
current
point on this game where it's got so bad with the voice acting, but the same fucking voice actress having a chat with themselves right now.
Oh, doing something a bit naughty, are we? Sounds like you've taken a leaf out of our book. Let's just say you inspired us and leave it at that.
Jesus Christ.
But now, I found out that Albion are planning a series of raids in
Also, what is that? That's punks don't just
that.
randomly
Unless you
smush
help us.
fucking charcoal on their face or whatever that is, or Sharpie. Like,
We'll have time to move our
have they ever
operations somewhere
seen
safe.
like a punk?
I've
Like,
got
what the
my
fuck
hands
is
on a
that?
little device that will allow you to zip
Get your
around
fizz backs
the
back if
borough
you want.
quick as you
Oh,
please.
you can. Well, you might
Be a
do small,
dear
but
and handle this for me, would
but
you?
I can't believe they've both
Leave
got the
it to
same
me.
voice. That's ridiculous. That's fucking ridiculous. Oh, I really want to shoot her in the head because, you know,
Can I help you?
you need to jog on before I murder you. And Lodgy Bob, thank you very much for the follow there, buddy. How you doing?
A little personal space, please. Shove off. Very carefully now.
It won't let me kill her. That's bullshit. I'd even decided I was going to fuck the mission off and let me die. And thank you again for the follow, dude. For some reason, I can't seem to turn off like both set of alerts that I've had now, so both are now on in their own way. But thank you very much for the follow. How are you doing, by the way? And have you played this much yourself? Why can't I make this work? Yeah, here we go. There we go. Lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, please, don't. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Where are you taking him? Stop,
Nice.
Jonah!
Back off, you fucking cow.
No! Don't!
We saw you with those machines. Didn't crack shit and you hit jackpot
Nice.
each time. Think we're daft? You're fucking dead sick, aren't you? Dead sick? No, I swear. It was just a small hack. Small hack? Who the hell did you take me for?
Please!
You know what we do to DegSec members? We make an example out of them.
No! No! No, Jonah!
Go tell your little DedSec friends, sweetheart.
Yeah, who cares about Jonah? It's fine. Oh, you're playing this now yourself as well? Fucking A. How far are you into it? I'm not like crazy far into it, but... Oh shit, what am I doing?
Albion have synchronized their raid teams. I'll feed you the
I'm currently just going around like all the boroughs,
take them down.
doing like the side stuff basically.
This drone has been modified.
How are you finding it? I think London looks amazing. It's really fun so far. But goddamn, the voice acting and the facial animations are just atrocious. Oh yeah, destroy it. Okay.
That looks like a bloody good time. But don't dilly-dally. On to the next one before
Oh,
they
shit.
launch their raid.
Look, Shark, you've got Albion drones heading your way.
Nah. Oi, ain't nothing but a drone thing, baby. Oh, am I not allowed to go higher? What is happening?
No loitering.
Well done, but no time to waste. Head to the next location.
Oh jeez, oh jeez. Oh fuck, bollocks. Oh dear. Is that there, Miss Me? Far but not too far. You're getting internet fitted tomorrow, so you're gonna play Forza. Ah, nice, fucking A. Oh, this isn't boding well, is it? Although, how long range this thing actually is? It's getting across good chunks of London. Oh, I've got to unlock it. Uh-oh. No, there is.
Excellent. You've got them scrambling. Here's the next one. Now hurry over there before they let loose.
Thing we're going the right way already. Shit. Okay. Yeah, how are you enjoying the game? What are your opinions on it?
Yes, one more should do it. This is bloody brilliant.
Oh dear. Oh dear. See, if we could strap a few of these to us instead of sitting on the big ones, man, we'd really be flying. Jeez. Graphics are sick and it's futuristic. Yeah, that's it, yeah. The actual, like, London itself looks gorgeous. And they've done, like, a great, like, imagining of it.
That's the last of them. Well bloody done.
Oh, nice. Oh yeah. This area of London's ours. Can't remember what area this is. Islington and Hackney. Yeah, yeah, nice, nice. Islington Academy's ours. As is Hackney Academy.
That was bloody brilliant. A raid like that would have broken our spirit, turned the borough into Albion bootlickers. You showed some grit there, love.
Who the
You're
fuck
being
is
modest, dear. There's enough vim and vigor left in you that you didn't really need our help. This old bird still has some pluck in her, and so does this neighborhood, thanks to you. Our pleasure. If we all stand together, then Albion's going the way of the dodo.
This is horrible.
Well said. Goodbye, dear, and stay.
She said well said to herself.
Sounds like Hackney and Islington are ready to
Didn't mean to do
rise
that,
up and
but
defy
sweet.
Albion. Couldn't ask for a better result, DedSec.
Excellent.
Prick. Yeah, you worship me. What, who the fuck's this? Who have I just recruited? Let's hear what their voice sounds like. It's going to be awful. But is it going to be an old lady? Or a ute?
Welcome to our little family, love. DedSec is thrilled to have you.
Yes, I'm so ready to help out the cause.
Brilliant.
The fuck, man? Yes, I'm so ready to help out the cause. I have fight written on my forehead, and I've looked like a Chelsea knockoff fan. Cheery Pip! Oh, she's still worshipping the ground. Wait, what'd you do? Songwriter attempting to hide! Doing a bang up job.
Amazing.
Isn't that going to be? Oh no, that's I did the wrong one.
Asshole.
Get her. I want to do that. So why does the football hooligan sound posh though? It's just, it's so ridiculous, man. Okay.
Let's get loud.
Let's get loud. Let's go fucking man. Oh, let's go fucking man. Oh, la 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 la. Let's go fucking man. Oh, let's go fucking man. Oh, la 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 la. There we go. And a lovely night was had by all. You fucking started, mate.
This is spectacular. Gotta get a photo.
Hey, how you doing? What's wrong? You're noticed in public. It doesn't seem that way. Have a look at my vagina. What do you think?
Nice little distraction.
Yeah, sweet. Does she have right on her? Did she have right in her, or is it just a really bad haircut? It looks like she's had something shaved into her hair. Maybe it's growing back. Either way. We're going to have a quick break here, guys. So we're going to do a wee little giveaway. So, follow